Hello, welcome back to today's video. I don't know why I'm saying welcome back as if you've seen this video before. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of language studying because ever since the new year started, I set so many language goals and I just haven't had a moment to just focus on my languages. Like anytime I have free time, I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do something else. I just haven't prioritized languages so far this year. So today I'm getting on top of my goals and I'm going to actually study some languages. So the reason we're doing a voiceover today is because recently I started going to this workspace in London, and it's basically like a co-working space. Like a lot of people are working together, that type of thing, and like technically I can speak in it, but at the current moment, like when I was filming this video, that was my second day ever being there, and I just do not feel comfortable yet. I will get there one day, I promise. But yeah, I went there early in the morning, and in general I had like a general working day. Like I wasn't doing languages all day because it's very unrealistic that we'll have like a whole day to do languages. But basically what I did is like I had all this work and then I would split it up with language study. So for example, I would do like a 1 hour block of work, and then I would do 30 minutes of language studying, and then maybe like 2 hour block of work, and then another language, and I would keep switching it like that. And that was really nice because it still kept my brain engaged, but it was like a break because languages to me are like a hobby, not like a chore. The first language I started with was Portuguese because recently I've been obsessed with Portuguese, like Portuguese music, Portuguese dance, TikTok trends, I don't know, literally anything. I love it. If anyone is at all curious, I'm learning the Brazilian Portuguese accent because I'm planning to go to Brazil. But yeah, I started with LingoPie because LingoPie is the nicest way to start your like language learning day because you're learning a lot, but it's also not like overwhelmingly like vocab. It's like just hearing the language naturally through like local videos. So let's please excuse the fact that I'm in a dark, creepy little room, but I want to take this moment to talk about today's sponsor, LingoPie. So if you've never heard of LingoPie, it is basically a subscription video on demand platform, but for language learners. Basically, once you subscribe to LingoPie, you get a lot of different local videos from whatever language you're trying to learn, and in those videos you get same language subtitles, but these are not like any other subtitles. So first of all, you can have 2 lines of subtitles. So for example, if I'm learning Portuguese, I can have the Portuguese subtitles and under them will be the English subtitles. Second of all, the subtitles are interactive, so if you don't know a word, you just click on that word, it tells you the meaning, it tells you how to pronounce it. And another bonus feature, which is like a crazy bonus feature, it gets added into a flashcard deck which you can then review after you watch the video. And I feel like this is the type of resource that every single language learner needs to be using daily because it's not very often that you hear local speech from that country and you can look at what the word means and also save it into a flashcard deck, like all within one. Also, you can change the speed of the video, you can read the transcript of the whole video. Like it is just a beautiful resource, and if you're a language learner and you haven't heard of it, this is the time. So if you would like to join this beautiful website, make sure to click the link in my description. So once I finished with LingoPie, I went on to Memrise, and oh my god, Memrise, I had so many words to review. Like I literally had like 100 cards to review, and I hadn't reviewed them in like 2 weeks, so literally I think I forgot like half the words, but it was a really good reminder. And literally the only negative I would have is that in this specific area that I was in, I couldn't like speak freely. So usually when I'm learning vocab, I would be like saying things out loud as I'm learning it because pronunciation is literally half of the learning. Like saying things out loud is so much more important than you think. That was like the only thing I was missing. But yeah, I learned a lot of new words, and honestly, Memrise, whenever I start learning a language, Memrise is where I start, and then once I kind of get a little bit more comfortable, I kind of move away from Memrise just because it's a bit limiting. Like the vocab is very specific, which can be good. It's very good if you want a specific situation, but usually I tend to learn more vocab that's like specific to my life. And then I did like another block of work, and then I moved spaces again. I swear to god, every single time I'm changing resource, I'm like changing spaces. But now we moved on to Korean, and with Korean, basically I've been using Talk to Me in Korean to learn Korean for years. But the thing is, I've never had a moment where I was super consistent with it, which is why like I don't think you guys have ever heard me speak Korean. I haven't really been like comfortable to talk or comfortable to like write sentences, and the reason for that is I'm very inconsistent. Like I have bursts of motivation to learn Korean where I learn all these words and then I just don't like practice them in sentences. I don't really say them out loud. So now the result is that I actually know quite a lot of words, but I feel like I'm still a complete baby beginner because I can't form sentences with them. So basically what I did today is I did a summary of Talk to Me in Korean level 1 and 2 because I've done them before and I don't feel like I need to do them again because I do know all the grammar points, but I did want to review it just in case because I don't know, there could be something I could forget. And I don't know if they still have this, but they used to have like this PDF version where it's like exercises for every single lesson and every single level. So I just did a bunch of those, and then I had a call I had to go on, but it wasn't like an active call, like I didn't have to speak in it, I just had to listen. So honestly, that's probably not the best because multitasking I do not recommend, but I did some Korean while I was on that call. And yeah, also it was on my to-do list today to sort out my Anki flashcards of Korean, but then I went to my flashcards and nothing was really wrong with them. I think the only issue now is that I have to start reviewing them again. And then I went home, and on the way home I was really tired, but like once I got home I actually still had so much energy to do the languages because I had set that expectation for myself that I'm gonna do it. I feel like sometimes this can be dangerous because if you set up expectations for yourself and then you can't achieve them, then it's very disheartening, like, oh, I can't do this, you start putting yourself down. But in this specific day, it helped me out because it just pushed me to do it, and after I had done it I felt so good. So it is time to do some more Portuguese right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a Pimsleur lesson. I'm just gonna lie down, close my eyes, and do this lesson because this lesson is like an audio lesson, so I need like full concentration mode. But I really love these audio lessons. Like, they make the language less scary to speak because you're saying everything out loud.
Bom dia, senhor.
Bom dia.
Bom
Como
dia.
vai o senhor?
A senhora me entende?
A senhora me entende?
E o senhor?
E o senhor?
E o senhor?
E o senhor?
Muito bem.
Muito bem.
How would she ask if you are American?
O senhor é minha...
O senhor é americano?
O senhor é americano? That's what I was trying to say. Ahora es tiempo de leer un libro en español y también hablar un poquito porque no he hablado en mucho tiempo. Voy a leer para ustedes. No sé con cuál acento leer porque a veces quiero un acento mexicano, pero no sé, me gustan mucho acentos que no dicen S, como en vez de decir me gusta, dicen me gusta. Oh. Eso me gusta mucho, pero no sé, a lo mejor tengo que hablar con un acento mexicano porque así no es muy raro. Creo que con un acento, por ejemplo, dominicano o colombiano parezco muy gringa, así que voy a leer con un acento mexicano. Mi mente nunca deja de planificar y hoy, el día más importante de mis 18 años de vida, no es ninguna excepción. Me tomo mi tiempo. That's a good phrase. Me tomo mi tiempo. It's a phrase that makes sense grammatically. Like, I feel like if you told me to translate it word by word, I would be able to do that, but I would never think of it myself, if that makes sense. A partir de hoy, este dormitorio ya no será mi hogar. Wow, ¿por qué? El ruido de los armarios abriéndose. Wow, qué difícil. El ruido de los armarios abriéndose y cerrándose en el piso inferior me indica que está tan asustado como yo. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading this out loud, but I'm gonna time-lapse it because I don't think you guys care. But you should get this book. This book was so famous when I was living in Spain. Like, everybody had read it. Apparently it's amazing, so I'm reading it. Also, if it looks like I'm talking to myself, technically I am because I'm reading this book out loud, but I feel like reading things out loud helps you so much because technically vocabulary wise nothing is really changing. Like, I'm still reading the same words, but the thing is saying them out loud and getting used to actually pronouncing these words and like trying to get the flow is so important. Like, this is why, like, also vocabulary, it's so difficult for me to even learn vocabulary now without saying things out loud because it truly doesn't sound the same. Like, in your head you could be like, no, it sounds the same. It doesn't sound the same in your head as it comes out. So you should practice reading it out loud. Anyway, I'm gonna go read now.